encounter scoliosis amongst our youth population.
Good evening, everyone. My name is OlaRose Ndubuisi. I'm a freshman here at Syracuse University, dual majoring in biology and journalism, and I'm also in the BSMD program with SUNY Upstate Medical University, giving me guaranteed admission to medical school.
Yes.
I would like to say thank you so much to Professor Paniagua, the team here at Point of Contact, and the team at the SU Art Museum for inviting me to be here today. I'm very honored and grateful to be reciting my poetry alongside Professor Noel and Professor Kuusisto. Today I'm going to recite two poems. The first one is called Grieving the Loss of Me. The second poem is called Faithful. Grieving the Loss of Me is a poem that I wrote at age 15. It's about my diagnosis of scoliosis and the pain that I've experienced along this journey, but also the beauty that I've discovered despite the pain. I was diagnosed with adolescent idiopathic scoliosis at age 14, which is a sideways curvature of the spine that affects adolescents ages 10 to 18. This painting over here is called My Perspective of Scoliosis. It's a painting that I made at age 15, and it goes along with the poem that I'm about to read. Grieving the Loss of Me by OlaRose Ndubuisi. I'm yet to truly grieve the loss of an individual that was close to me, but for the past year, I have been grieving the loss of a piece of me, a piece that I didn't realize was so vital, like batteries are for a toy, until it became the rival of my joy. I took the placidity of my life for granted, and now my world has been twisted and slightly slanted. I have scoliosis, which makes my spine curved like the imperfect trunk of a bare tree. My pain is hidden, but it is through the power of poetry that I set it free. It is not the event that shapes us, but the grief of what once was that shatters the shield of stability, guarding our hearts. We must pick up the fragments of our past and reshape it to frame the portrait of the present. The stormy, sorrowful chapters in our lives are meant to nourish the drought of bravery in our hearts, fill the empty pages of naive bliss in our minds, and create an overflowing oasis of perseverance in our souls. When a tree is cut down, its branches and its leaves fall to the ground. It is now a tree stump, but its purpose is not stunted. The tree becomes a pillar of solace, a rest place for the weary. Likewise, rather than viewing my scoliosis as the death of what once was, I view it as the beautiful birth of what is. My back won't ever be the same, but it has taught me to acknowledge the heaven's individual teardrops within the falling rain. I say that I wish I didn't know the meaning of chronic back pain, but without it, I wouldn't be able to truly understand the suffering of others. I say that I miss not having to do physical therapy, wear a brace, or be faced with whether to undergo life-changing surgery or not. But these trials have taught me that strength and resilience cannot be bought. I wish I didn't have the desire to detach my vulnerable body from my defiant spine, but this has encouraged me to mentally disconnect myself from the temporary pain, corporeal inconsistencies, and worldly things of life. Now, I look deep into my soul, where the everlasting joy, incorporeal consistencies, and the vessel of truth resides. As I grieve the loss of my former life, I realize that I have been given a new one in exchange. In my mind, I climb up my spine like a ladder, using each spinous process as a foothold. As I climb higher, my spine transforms into a tree with protruding branches that bear fruits like apples and cherries. Nestled safely in a branch's embrace, it's a house of love that holds my heart. I enter the house and gaze out the window, admiring the unfathomable height of my spine, the incredible progress I've made. My scoliosis reworks itself, no longer adopting the form of a ladder or a tree. Each vertebra now looks like a building block suspended in air by faith. My spine is like the unstable structure of a dilapidated skyscraper that is plagued by thunderous spiritual storms, worn down by the persistence of time, abandoned by the fickleness of humanity, and balancing only upon a rusted beam of fragility, waiting to collapse. However, it hasn't crumbled yet. It has defied the law of inevitability that is applied to all hopeless cases, without room for miraculous nuances. In its imperfect curved form, my spine stays strong, as if it is holding onto hope, helping me stand up tall, even when my confidence wants to shrink and make me feel small. We all navigate the labyrinth of grief in different ways, searching for the museum of memories, where every thought is a finished painting, not a forsaken sculpture. For some, this process is therapeutic if you persist. For others, this process will tear up you if you resist. I scale my scoliosis like a mountain, meant to be overcome, while swimming through the experience like an ocean meant to be immersed in. Don't erase your sorrow, embrace it. Don't repair your pain, repurpose it. After your tears have been freed, like a songbird trying to escape a cage, dare to dare. Thank you. The last poem that I'm going to read today is called Faithful. Faithful is a poem that I wrote at age 13. It is about how my faith in God has carried me through difficult challenges and only increases in the face of adversity. My Catholic faith is something that's really important to me, and it's positively helped me navigate difficulties in my life and disabilities, from being born premature and weighing 1 pound to having severe unilateral hearing loss in my right ear to now having scoliosis. When I was diagnosed with scoliosis, it was a really difficult experience, but my faith in God reminded me that there's light at the end of the tunnel and that I'm not alone in what I'm going through, and also that good things can come out of bad, negative, or difficult situations. Faithful by OlaRose Ndubuisi. And when the moon has fallen and the sea has swallowed the stars, those frigid feelings of darkness foretold will never take what is ours. For what is ours belongs to Him. Lovely indeed is what belongs to Him. Its brilliance cannot be dulled by the bleak and grim. Gently dissolved by the daylight, inflamed by its majesty, is my heart at the sound of your whisper. As sickening silence echoes and the air grows crisper. Although the trees will bend and break, the earth will shiver and quake, my faith in you will never cease. In the midst of a storm, it will only increase. In the stifling heat of the desert, in the frightening chills of the night, there is beauty to be seen, hope to be heard, if only one realizes that in this life, constant happiness was never ensured. Happiness is not given, for it is a choice, and the one whom I love, the one whom I have faith in, gradually allows me to understand that until it is finished, it must come from within. He whom I have faith in gave me the fallen moon to illuminate the path before me and open my eyes to the swallowed stars which brighten the sea. Oh, how much you have done for me. I wish I could repay thee. In an effort to make amends, I intend to live a life that is meaningful, but sometimes difficult to be defined. I shall live a good life, not one meant for the fearful who turn violent and blind, nor a life for the ones with hearts broke within and withering, shattered minds. I shall live a life that's good and true. It will begin and end with love, and the strength I receive from my faith in you will see me through. Trust and faith, hope for love speaks my soul, but I often think it misunderstands. Faith? What is there to believe in? What can I trust in this trying and dying land? I soon realized that what I have faith in is not of this earth, but within and above it. My faith gives me hope and stability in this sometimes hopeless and insecure world. Thank you.
Sees with exophthalmic eyes that loveliness will cure you if it doesn't cause sickness. She has trouble turning pages. Toward the end, so did Nietzsche, who thought beauty was subjective. She smiles. Neither shapes nor sounds or the Black Death were ever your own idea. One who speaks the glaucous dialects of herdsmen. And all I heard was books, authorship, not understanding the loneliness to come, and the crying out for trees to save me.
Matching the wires tangled in my head. My epileptologist would later tell me, "You're lucky to be a poet," he meant, "and work with the language part of the brain in school at my own pace," or at least that's how I heard it. Trying to seem smart, I nodded, mumbling something about neurons and dominant hemispheres, but soon the fog had dominated me. Time to fall. I ended up at St. Vincent's Hospital in a hallway where the sunlight flickered like synapses under strobes. Now, the hospital is gone, and the newspaper reports on the clinics that replaced it. Losing the muse, I find myself sighing when lost, a damaged beauty. Rumbo, llamando el hogar a las llamas, llamas, llamando el hogar a las llamas, llamas, llamas.